respiratory virus outbreak in China's Wuhan city.
The World Health Organization says the outbreak in Wuhan city was caused by a previously unknown type of coronavirus.
China's health commission cannot confirm human-to-human transmission of the virus.
It's the first case of COVID-19 in the United States.
We're enduring a great national trial, and we will prove that we can meet the moment.
The system is not really geared to what we need right now, what you are asking for.
Welcome to the World Health Organization press briefing on COVID-19.
They're calling it the Second Great Depression as global
Wall Street, facing heavy losses over the past several weeks, is causing investors to...
Mandatory stay-at-home restrictions across many states is forcing local...
Lockdown continues as Italy brings in the military to enforce restrictions.
Over 10 million Americans applied for unemployment with a record 6.6...
Disruption in the food supply chain as farmers worry
What we're seeing now is something that's unprecedented.
Social distancing could have a devastating effect on people fighting with depression.
Fear and anxiety grip the nation as the unknown cost of life and living loom in the balance.
Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. The benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth, it really allows the society a chance to take care of itself once you've made that intervention.
I hope we're going to have a vaccine, and we're going to fast track it like you've never seen before.
And which activities like mass gatherings may be, in a certain sense, more optional. And so until you're widely vaccinated, those may not come back at all. Certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world where you'll have some countries that won't have it under control. Sadly, you don't want to completely block off the ability for those people to go there and come back and move around. So we'll have a lot of unusual measures until we get the world vaccinated. 7 billion people, that's a tall order, but it is where we need to get to, and not just take care of our country, but take that vaccine out to the global population, a vaccine that's highly effective that we get out to the world population.
Else are we not listening to that we need to take action on now?
Well, the idea of a bioterrorist attack is kind of the nightmare scenario, because they're a pathogen with a high death rate would be picked. Now, the good news is, I'm not trying to depress you, it's tough enough right now. Too late. Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1. Most of the work we'll do to be ready for that are also the things we need to do to minimize the threat of bioterror.
It's hard, but this is the news everyone needs to know. The world is banning flights to and from the United Kingdom because of a new strain of COVID-19.
The new variant is out of control, and we need to bring it under control.
The mutant COVID-19 strain. A mutated virus that spreads up to 70% faster. That changes the way it enters the cells in our bodies. That possibly leaves those with stronger immune systems at high risk. Yes, we see more cases among younger people, and if this new variant is the reason, we have to ask ourselves an important question. What if this year the virus is only warming up? What if the stronger variant reaches many more countries and, worst of all, your loved ones? It's scary, and because of this, no matter where you live, you should know how to prepare yourself. And how is the virus mutating? First of all, the mutated variant is known as B117. According to health experts, viruses can mutate even a few times a month. And as they mutate, sometimes a very rare situation happens when the genetic code of the virus changes strongly enough for it to become even more powerful. In other words, if COVID was a person, it just won a very rare lottery ticket. And it's ready to celebrate by spreading faster than ever. That is why with this news the UK just announced the strictest lockdown where millions must cancel Christmas plans and stay home.
It is with a very heavy heart, I must tell you, we cannot continue with Christmas as planned.
Let us send good wishes to everyone in the UK affected by this bad news. And the moment this news reached more countries, yesterday they banned flights to and from the UK, just as we banned the flights from Wuhan earlier this year. Canada, Italy, Germany.
Several European countries have shut their borders to Britain due to concerns over a new, rapidly spreading coronavirus strain.
And soon your country will ban all the flights because of the fear of this mutant reaching more people. Because of the fear that this year the virus is only warming up. Night fam, throughout this video I said it twice. What if the virus is only warming up? And I say it because this should be a signal for people to finally wake up. I've seen many question if the virus exists at all. I've seen people come up with the most ridiculous conspiracy theories about COVID. Millions of people who proudly say they don't care about wearing masks. And I already know that even this news will bring many who say it's all just fake news. But how many more people do we need to lose for us to be on the same page? There are countless examples around the world with second or even third all-time high waves. US, India, Poland and many more. Right now, a year later, they do worse than ever against the virus. Imagine if the stronger version reaches these struggling nations with overloaded hospitals. It will be a catastrophe. And so I ask you to please help me share this video and reach everyone around the world. Because if people don't take this seriously, if we don't work together, if we keep on making the same mistakes, underestimating the situation, 2020 will be known as the year when COVID was only warming up. And we will look back at it wishing we knew it all along.